Hi everyone, this is Artist Creation, and this is one of my very first Destiny 2 build videos. Now, this is something I want to do for a very long time, and I'm finally getting up the courage to do it. So one of the first builds I want to show you is my Stasis Warlock build. Now, I know there's a lot of these builds going around and stuff at the moment, but this is my take on it, and this is kind of one for GMs for me personally. If you want to be that aggressive Warlock using Aeon Souls, which is mostly where the build is built around. Now for this one, you're going to need Aeons with Sect of Insight. So when you do a finisher on an Elite, you generate special ammo, or if you do a finisher on Champion, you generate heavy ammo, which is really, really good for your fire team. Now, when it comes down to other mods on your arms, it'll vary because it depends obviously what your fire team is running in GMs, but you could run things like Grenade Kickstart to help with the turrets, and you could also just kind of stick to running your champion weapons. And again, as I said, it'll all depend on your fire team. For me personally, I like running Overload Bow and Unstoppable Fusion, and I like to go with the GOS bow, which is really good with Explosive Arrowhead. It's fantastic for the stuns on overloads and stuff like that. And then there's another way to do it. Is it's like you could use a demolitionist weapon, like trinary system for this build. But I know most people like to go for Cartesian right now because it's very, very strong. And then I use 1k as my heavy. Now, for the rest of the armor pieces, I run Taking Charge with Fusion Rifle Ammo Finder, just for the fusions and stuff. I then rock Reactive Pulse for finishers. So when you're charged with light and you do a finisher, you'll gain a powerful overshield. Also, if you're surrounded by enemies and you're charged with light, you'll do like a shockwave burst. Now, you need to have an arc armor piece on. Well, it doesn't have to be on this armor piece, but you need something arc to activate the secondary perk in Reactive Pulse. And then you can run Concussive Dampener. Now, usually you'd run a Sniper Damage Resist just to not get one banged, but it just depends where you're running it. If it's on your boots, if it's on your head, like it depends where your armor pieces rock around for the Reactive Pulse. Then I run Charged Up for that extra bit of charge with light, so I can hold up to 3 as far as I know. And then you have Fusion Rifle Scavenger and then Innervation. It's really good for getting your cooldown back for your grenade as well. And then I have Resilience mods on for this. And then I have on this now, there's different ways you can do the bond. It's something I've been messing with. So you can run the particle for your team if you want to be that guy, or you could take it off and you could run Explosive Finisher. Now, the reason that you put on Explosive Finisher is that I don't worry too much about my super. Super for like a Warlock Stasis is usually used for shutting down enemies, massive adds in big groups, and you wouldn't use it that many times in a GM. You might end up holding onto it for too long and so on, but the Explosive Finisher makes it so that you can use your super in a good way. So whenever you get a finisher, you will get a grenade back instantly, but it requires 1/5 of your super energy. Now, I think that is phenomenal. You could, I think, as far as I know, for a full super bar, doing a finisher, you can get about 8 grenades. Now, I think that's correct. It's been a while since I tested it. And then you have Resonant Siphon, so whenever your fire team stuns, or you stun, you get your energy back as well, which is just incredible. And then you could run things, if you really want to do, you could put on something like Firepower to help get that energy back as well, but you're using up all your charges, or to help, you could pop on Supercharged, which just keeps you having a higher stack. Now, for the actual stasis aspects and fragments, you want to be running the Bleak Watcher so you can create your turrets. And you want to have, like for me personally, I prefer Ice Flare Bolts. So whenever you frozen target gets destroyed, it seeks out and freezes another target, which I think is phenomenal for little locking down enemies in the GMs. And then for fragments, I like to run Whisper Torments, so you gain grenade energy each time you take damage from targets. Then you got Whisper of Fissures, increases the damage and size burst of a stasis when you destroy the stasis crystal. Now this one isn't exactly necessary, but we'll get to it in a second. We could change it. I take this for the bonus recovery, and it also reduces your damage since you're always going to try and be near those frozen targets, seeing that you're locking them down in place all of the time. And then Durance is really good for keeping those slows with your turret on longer. Now again, fragments are up to you if you really want it. There's different ways of doing this, but I personally like to do it like this. Now you could put on possibly Whisper of Rending instead of Whisper, or Fissures. Now, again, I think it's each to your own when it comes down to this. But I just find this works really well for me in GMs. So now for the rest of the video, I'm going to just bring us to the Altar of Sorrow, and I'm going to show you some of the gameplay and how I do this. Now this will be with Explosive Finisher when I'm doing this one. Now Explosive Finisher, I have to say, is one of the best things I came across without even realising. I was just testing last season, and this is just something I find incredibly strong. It's just one of those things. Now, with supercharged and charged up, I should be able to have 5 stacks with Charge of Light as well. So that helps a lot for the fact that you also have, I actually don't have it on right now, which is, this is what you want to be running as well. You want to always have your GMs as Protective Light. That's something I totally forgot to put on. Now, you got to make space. So right now, seeing that we don't really need this on right now, just to have it for the stacks, we want to always have on your Taking Charge as well. So we're just going to fly straight over here to the altar, and we're just going to do some damage on these boys, and I'll get my turrets out. So I'm going to drop one turret down here now, and you're going to just do a little bit of damage with some of these boys, and you're going to do a finish. Oh, dead already. If I can get a hit in here somewhere. See, the problem is now I'm running weapons that are too strong right now, and you can see that shockwave. So I do a finisher, boom, grenade is recharged instantaneous, and just because enemies are a bit too weak for this one, we're going to pop on an auto rifle and make it a little bit easier so I can show you the finishers. So we're going to do, well, if Blueberries didn't smash them out, we'd be fine, and well, it's done. But the idea is, actually the last sector over here, probably a better way to show an example. Right in here, it's one of my favorite last sectors right now to run, just for testing out and stuff. If you're not doing on the altar and massive groups of ads, we're going to come in here, and my grenade is almost up, so I'm just going to pop a rift here for a minute. I'm going to go like this, so I'm just going to weaken these boys down a little bit. Right, they're all weak, so I'm going to go drop one grenade down. I'm going to do a finisher, boom. 2 grenades. That's 3. 4. That's 5. And you get about 6. I thought it was 8, so it's 6. The bones of 6 grenades from one full super bar. Now, you're not always going to be doing these finishers on a constant, but you can literally lock down whole rooms with just using your super bar, drain it down. Now, your super bar will always get filled back up, so just depending, like right now I'm only running a 58 on this build, but with your fire team generating orbs on a constant, you never have to worry about your super bar. And you don't have to do it this way. As I said, it's a bonus. It works really well if you're going to be the Aeon, since you're going to be doing finishers anyway. I find that that's a phenomenal way of doing it. But I really hope you liked the video. Like and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Any comments, any feedback would be absolutely positive. And thank you so much for watching my video.